Welcome to Yoga with InBody Academy. My name is Linda Black. I'm sharing this practice with you from my own home, and we'll be doing yoga, keeping in the theme of this month's agenda, which is just let freedom flow. We'll do this in a way that is liberating today. So take a stand, really, anywhere that's comfortable. Let's just shake out the hands, make some shoulder rolls, shake out the legs or the feet. And just in general, shake off the day. Whatever's happened thus far, you can embrace after you've finished your class. We'll bring the hands to the heart center right here. Just one hand on top of the other, right at the heart. Feel the heart rise, the chest rise and fall with each breath, inhaling and exhaling. And when we talk about liberation, what comes to mind? Yeah, we liberate ourselves from something. Liberating ourselves from oppressive behavior from others or from ourselves. What I'm talking about here is just the practice of lifting the weightiness or the burden of things that are no longer serving us. In my earlier class, I gave this analogy of a friend who has a home that has a lot of paperwork and files and clutter. And in fact, she's complained to me several times, oh, I need to clean that out. Oh, I need to clean that up. And I would ask, well, what's stopping you? She says, well, I don't know if I'll need it. I have to go through it piece by piece. And the magnitude of oppression that's surrounding this impossible task to go through literally stacks and stacks and files of paper and articles and news clippings and things that she might need in the future is in fact quite overwhelming. So liberating ourselves, I mean, that's a physical manifestation of like, you know, what do you surround yourself and what is oppressive in nature every day. We're like, oh, I'll get to that. It takes up energy and time. And in the same link, we have oppressive thoughts that can weigh us down. So think in your life where you may want to liberate yourself so you can get more in the flow of freedom. Let freedom flow rather than getting it stagnant or stuck in ways that are not embracing our true nature and embracing our creativity. So whatever that is for you, just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And imagine if all of that heaviness or the weight of the burden, the oppressive nature of it, were lifted. Whether it's we're telling ourselves we can't or we don't know enough, we're having a hard time with relationship. What if we didn't have that thought or we didn't have that oppressiveness? We liberated ourselves free from it. What would it look like? So dream big here. Declutter the desk. Like wipe it all out. Take your arm and just whoosh, one fell swoop. We get to release the clutter that's holding us back. And feel what it feels like to liberate yourself from that oppressiveness that we may be even putting on ourselves. Yeah, don't go down the road of, oh, but he's doing this or she's doing that and I can't do this because, oppressiveness starts here in the heart, it starts here in the head, starts here in the gut. It starts with us and our own behaviors. What do we get to challenge ourselves to show up as? Okay, now that you've got that intention, intend to release yourself from that energy. We're going to take a breath of joy. So it's an inhale. We've done this before, and if you can go outside and plant your feet in the grass, I would absolutely encourage you to do that. The arms come up on the inhale, they go out on another inhale, and a third inhale come up again. On the exhale, we're going to let it out. Ha. So 3 inhales. Ha. 1 exhale. Ha. Very loose with the arms. Ha. 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 And a definite letting it out. Ha. Ha. Lift yourself and liberate. Ha. From this oppressive behavior, stinky thinking. Ha. Ha. Let it go. Ha. 5 more. Ha. 4. Ha. 3. Ha. 2 more. Ha. Last 1. Ha. Ah. Come up and release, shaking the hands. Shoulder rolls again. And plant your feet in the earth a little bit wider here. We're going to swing the arms from side to side, touching the shoulder. So it's left hand to right shoulder, and then right hand to left shoulder. I'm lifting the heel to create more of a twist. And this is going to be, again, a little bit of a swinging action. So we'll inhale to the right, exhale to the left. Feels good to exhale through the mouth. You can exhale through the mouth. If you'd like to exhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. We'll inhale together through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Or through the nose. I prefer the mouth. Easier to let it go. Change the energy. Create a new landscape. If just for the moment in our physical body, our mental mind gets a respite. You liberate it from the cares and woes of the day and let it go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then release that action. Bring yourself to the top of your mat. We'll take a really strong stance in Tadasana. We've been working with active stance. So alignment-wise, the principle is you're plugging in the corners of the feet, inner ball, inner heel, outer ball and outer heel, and then drawing the ball of the foot towards the heel. It's going to activate the arch of the foot. There's a lift in the ankles, contraction of the quads to lift the kneecap, and then promoting the low belly, a tone in the low belly. So the low back gets a little longer, and an open chest and clavicle, shoulders are broad. And then pull the ribs in so we don't hyperextend through the lower back, and bring the arms overhead, and you'll feel a little bit taller. Just hold that for a breath. No sinking or collapsing in the low back, but a lot of extension and a cooperative effort to create decompression in the spine. One more breath. And then we'll take this forward with the hands at the heart center. Bring the hands to the floor. Inhale, Hands on the shins. So we get an extended tabletop flat back. Exhale, drop the head towards the shin in a forward fold. Let's do that again. Inhale to flat back. Maybe the knees bend a little bit. Exhale, lift the hips and fold forward. And one last time, inhale, flat back. So we're getting the energy to switch up here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up, nice and easy. And the shoulder rolls up to the ears. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, again, the arms come overhead. Exhale, take a forward fold again. Inhale to a half lift. And then this time, as you exhale, you'll take the feet a little wider, walk the hands a little further forward, then shift the weight back into the heels. So we're hinging at the hips, elongating through the side body. So from the pinky finger all the way through the arm, up to the armpit, down through the hip, lifting up and back. Should feel like a counter lever here. Then place the hands on the knees. We'll roll up once again, inhale, and we'll roll down. So the exhale is a flat back, undulate through the spine. Inhale, round and lift up, much like we'd see a jellyfish in water, a very unique water quality that jellyfish have. Exhale down. Inhale all the way up, bring the feet together, and let's extend the arms overhead once again. Full vessel mudra. Get that decompressed spine by engaging and actively standing here. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, step the right foot back, coming into a high push-up or a high low lunge. So the back knee is elevated. We're going to lift the hips like an elevator and then exhale, bend. This is really one of my favorite things to do. Inhale, lift. Exhale, extend through the spine in the low lunge. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Now we're going to speed that up. So it's an inhale, exhale. Try not to lock the leg, but keep control muscularly, pressing through the front leg and then bending. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step all the way back into downward facing dog. So that on fire, the front leg is definitely working. Inhale, come into a high push-up position, bring the knees to the floor and then lower down in a Chaturanga. And when you get to an even space here, the shoulder and the elbow even, release the hip and then lift into a low Cobra. Again, we're decompressing the spine, shoulders are down away from the ear. Shoulder blade on the back of the heart, pushing the chest forward. Exhale, release that back into a downward facing dog. We'll extend the right leg up to the sky, rotate through the ankle, take 3 in each direction, 3 rotations. It doesn't have to be fast or slow, just whatever pace. And then step all the way through. On the opposite side now, the right leg is forward, the left leg is back. Inhale, charge the heart forward. Exhale, descend the hips and hold. And then extend the front leg on your next inhale. And exhale, bend the shin forward. Inhale, raise the hips as you straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Then we're going to take it 10 times in a quick fashion. So there's 1. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. That's 3, 4, 6, 8. 2 more. Last one. Hold here. Pump the back foot. and then press against the mat to step forward. Inhale to a flat back. Tabletop. Exhale, drop down and in. Inhale all the way to standing. If you've been in my classes, palms together, hands to your heart, this will be very familiar. We take left and right sides often. I'm putting some things together that we've practiced over the month. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. This time, inhale, step the left leg to the back edge and bring the knee to the floor. So this is Anjanayasana. We're going to keep the fingertips on the ground. Use a block if you'd like. It could be inside the ankle. That's going to lift you up and level the playing field, so to speak, for your hamstrings. Otherwise, your fingers stay right even with the heel. They don't move forward or back. It's just the knee. So we straighten and then bend. And some friends will really feel a lot more comfortable if they're upright so that the leg has more space. Yeah. And exhale. We're getting right into that releasing of the hip. Move forward and back. Twice more. Last time. And we'll step the right leg back to meet your left. We're in a hands and knees position. Inhale, open the right knee as you pivot on the ball of the foot and press back. Exhale, gently bring the knee to the earth. Inhale, pivot on the left foot, bring the heel to the earth and press back. Pivot and bring the knee back to the earth. Inhale, exhale, press back. Inhale, the knee comes gently to the earth. Exhale, press back, left side. And we're just switching side to side. Exhale. Just make sure your breath is even and with movement. It's neither here nor there. Which one is the inhale or the exhale? One more time each side. Inhale and exhale. Turn the toes under and take it right into a downward facing dog. Glide into a high push-up. Bring the knees to the floor. Lower down Chaturanga. When the hips reach the ground, hands or elbows are going to be even with the shoulder. We'll pull the elbows in, hug, and then back. You press down through the hands. Lift, and again, decompress the spine here. So there's a lot of vigilance in the chest coming forward, not here. We're back, right? Release and take it back into a downward facing dog. Big full extension through the low back. If you have low back issues, really the best thing you can do is just move at your own pace and time, and eventually your back will be decompressed through yoga practices, and you'll get more hamstring opening and hip opening, and that will take the pressure off your low back. Okay, so from here, we'll take the left leg now up to the sky, rotate through the ankle here. So we're going both directions. Once again, and then we'll step the left leg all the way through to a low lunge. Bring the back knee gently to the floor and hold. So we're in Anjanayasana. The nice thing to do for your hamstring is to bring a block on either side, so you've got some support here. And we'll straighten the front leg and then bend. And if you want to bring a pillow or a blanket underneath the right knee, go ahead, right? That would be the nice thing to do. So your knee is out of harm's way and it's gently cared for. It's all about caring for the body. It's not about ripping it apart or, punishment or any of that. It's about caring and maintaining for the body. Let's bring it forward, lift the back knee. We're going to push off with the back foot on 3, 2, and 1. Step all the way to the front. Inhale to a half lift. And exhale, bring it in and down. And then let's come all the way to standing. Sweep the arms overhead, palms together, and exhale. Bring the hands to your heart center. And take a giant jump to the right. And remember, it's all about liberation. So I don't want you to be shy about this. It's just take the legs. And right leg steps now are open lengthwise on our mat, and we'll come into goddess pose. So bending the knees here, and the arms come up in a goalpost. Take a full breath in, a full breath out. We're going to tone the navel, so that drops the tailbone just a little bit. Make sure you're not pushing forward so that the knees are in line with your second and third toe. That's where we want to watch the alignment. You can look down and make sure you can see your big toe. If you can't see it, take your hips back a little bit. I know you got to use some muscles that maybe have are kind of taking a back seat. So we're going to inhale, open, exhale, make a fist and close. Inhale, open. 2 inhales, exhale, close. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Pick up the pace. Make a fist as you come in. Shoulder blades on the back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands down to the knees. Take a little deeper stance. I know you thought we were coming out. We're not. Shift side to side. We're going to drop the left shoulder in, or right shoulder. I'm giving a soundboard here to the knee, pushing it wider. So I deepen that internal extension for the inner thigh. Bring it back to center and then switch sides. Yay. And then back to center, bring the hands, palms open. You're going to maintain this stance, but just lift the right heel and then lower. Spread the toes wide, lift the left heel. See if you can get it all the way to a pretty good extension or flexion, right? Left, and then right, and then both, and lower. Or you can choose to keep the feet flat on the floor or continue doing one at a time. One more time, lift and hold. Now straighten the legs, push through the floor, push, 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 push. Inner thighs engaged, arms overhead, and then roll the heel down to the ground. Shift the hips, bring your feet parallel, and take Hakini Mudra. That's the fingertips coming together. We're gonna give a slight bend in the knee, hips shift back, and then we'll come right out over the side of your mat. Walk the hands forward and then shift the hips back. Doing that same hinge we did earlier, except that our feet are just a bit wider. The hands are on the floor. If you've got a couch near you, I would put the hand underneath the couch and then use it as a way to counter lever the hips. So you get an even deeper opening through the side body, lengthening. Yeah. Then bring it back to center. Walk your hands over to the right foot. You're going to turn the left foot open, the feet out, and then take the elbow against the knee. Yay. Inhale, come back to center and take it to the other side. Hold, keeping your heel on the ground, ankle supported. Yes, come back to center and take the first side again. So I'm lifting the left toe upward. The hips come back. And I'm sitting back so the heel can remain level or stay on the floor. And we'll walk it back over to the first or second side. And that's a little bit challenging. Now we'll challenge it in a different way, and that's to come to the first side again, elbow to the knee. So we're not going as deep, right? The knee's over the ankle, and we'll just present the opposite hand upward. So my toe is up, the arm is up, and I kind of look like an elf. And we'll go to the other side, elbow to the knee for support, hand is reaching up. You could also do this with the hand on a block, and you're just moving side to side. That takes some of the weight and pressure off of the leg, because there's a lot of weight and pressure on the leg. And then if you want to bring the elbow all the way off the knee with the Chandrasana, right and then left, and then bring it all the way back to center, turn the toes in and push off with the back foot and step the legs together back to the top of your mat. And then a little shaking out of the legs. Inhale, let's bring the arms up. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, step the right leg back. You know, position the heel to the floor at right ankle to the front, right angle to the front, and come into warrior two. Here, the right arm down, left arm reaches up in a reverse action. And then exhale, bring the elbow to the thigh in a side angle. Inhale, reverse it. And exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle to the floor. Hold 3, 2, 1. Plant the hands, step all the way back. Downward facing dog. Inhale into plank. Knees to the floor. Exhale, Chaturanga. So you can do hard things. I want you to stay in. The challenge is to pace yourself and keep going through the whole practice, because we do change where we emphasize the energy flow, right? Through the class, right leg lifts, bend the knee, now open the hip. So we're changing it up so your muscles get a full, well-rounded expression, each one of them. We're not favoring one over the other. Step all the way through. That's what makes it a little tough. And then step the opposite foot to meet your front foot. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, drop in and down. Inhale, let's come all the way to standing. And if you want to embellish your practice, hands to heart center, and you feel like, oh, it would be neat if I added this in, go right ahead. That's great. Inhale. If you just want to stay with me and modify, that's great too. Exhale, forward fold. This time the left leg is stepping back. Spin the heel to the floor. Warrior one. We rainbow the arms into a reverse warrior and then a side angle. Inhale, up and over, reversing. Exhale, side angle. One more time to the back. And one more time, touching down this time. The hand comes outside the ankle. We're holding 3. You could also place the hand on a block. 2. And 1. Strengthen stamina. Plant the left hand. Step all the way back. Downward facing dog. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, bring the knees to the floor and lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale. If you'd like to come into a full upward facing dog at this point, that would be appropriate. Exhale into downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Left leg now. Inhale, comes up to the sky. Rotate through the ankle. Go each side, each direction. Bend the knee, open the hip, and then step the leg all the way through. You're gonna take your back foot, push off and step forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, drop in and down. Inhale, all the way to standing. Palms together and exhale. Hands to your heart. We're thinking in terms of liberation today. liberating whatever is weighing heavy on your mind. We're liberating ourselves and freeing ourselves. That's going to take some action. So what action, what appropriate action would free yourself from all that clutter and debris we talked about, having it on your desk? And I'm just saying, I have a friend, may or may not be, myself, but speaking for myself too. Okay, a little challenge for your balance. Shift the weight to the left leg, bring your right knee in. And just find your balance. Find that strength in the standing leg, the lift, evenness through the hips. Release the hand and lower the leg. Shift to the other side. Pick up the knee. Maintain equilibrium, equanimity. Release. Coming into tree pose, hands to the waist. We'll do this in a figure 8 fashion. So we'll lift the left knee, or right knee, sorry, all the weight's on the left side. And then draw a figure 8 with your big toe. Your big toe. As you draw that figure 8, bring the knee a little bit higher out to the side, and then gently coax the heel into the inner groin. They're pressing into each other. Another option or possibility, there's several. So stay here, breathe, or bring the heel mid-thigh, mid-calf. We're touching the floor with the toe. If you're still feeling shaky on your balance, get a pretend or real wall and place your hand on the wall. It really can help settle that equilibrium, like if you're feeling off balance. Any variations? And then release. Let's take it to the second side. Shift all the weight to the right. Pop the left knee, toe lifts, and makes a figure 8. Figure 8 with the left leg, bringing the knee all the way up and the foot to the inner thigh, holding steady. Gaze and eyes straight forward. And then when you feel supported and balanced, take a variation of your choice. Palms up to the sky, gaze up to the sky. Anything that creates a little challenge for you in your balance. Keep it stable, and as you come out, that same control as when you went in. And now we're going to take this to the back edge of your mat. 2 more balance exercises. So stepping onto the right leg, we're going into Warrior 3. From last week, remember, we started a Warrior 3, but we were down on the ground, lifting from here, which is much harder. So today we're starting standing, vertical, step on the right leg, arms overhead, and lift through the spine, decompress, inhale, exhale, bend your front knee and just lift the back heel lightly. Keep lifting the back heel until the arms extend forward, and then straighten your standing leg. You can bring the arms in any variation, so they might be at your side, you might have it on a wall, or they might be straight forward. We're holding 5 breaths. That's already 3. 2 more. 1 more. And then on your inhale, lift the heart and chest. Keep that back heel elevated until you get all the way vertical. And the leg's going to just meet together gently with control. Left leg forward now, second side. All the weight to the left leg. Arms overhead, full extension. Right leg starts to elevate. Even before you hinge, we're not hinging at the waist, we're hinging at the hip. So keep the heart elevated, keep lifting. like an ice skater. When you see those ice skaters, they don't look at the floor. They look where they're going. They lift their gaze with their heart up, elevation, liberation. 2 more. 1 more. Keep that back leg strong and lifted. Lift the heart. Bring the right leg all the way underneath you. And exhale, hands to the heart. As promised, 1 more balance challenge. So from the top of your mat, inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the right leg back. We're going to come right into a warrior 2, spinning the back heel to the floor, and then straighten the front leg. So I'm at 90 degrees with the foot. Back foot's parallel, and the front foot's pointing forward. And we're going to reach the ribs forward and back, just the rib cage. So the hips don't move. I'm just moving the ribs, not moving the hips. And then we're going to hold that reach to the front. Keep reaching with the arm until you can't reach anymore. And then make a bigger pocket in that hip and shift the hips towards the back wall. And then tip the body. So we're coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose, which is not the balance challenge. From here into Arda, Chandrasana, half moon pose. We'll take the hand to the waist, shift the weight all onto your left leg as you bring the right foot in. Toes dipped in the, you're just gonna lift it out, raise the hip. If you'd like to dip the toe down again. Inhale, keep a strong vigilant watch on the standing leg. It's gonna straighten. As you get more confident in opening the hip and keeping the right foot in line with the hip. Okay, try not to take it back here. You want to connect the ribs in towards the back body, lengthen the tailbone towards the back wall, and high five the air. There's a full Arda Chandrasana. So we'll bend the standing knee, come back into Trikonasana, the same way we came in. And then we're going to lift that back up into warrior 2. So bend the front knee, warrior 2, straighten the legs, switch the feet. So now we're facing the opposite direction. Reach the rib forward and back, forward and back. And then a full reach until you can't reach anymore. Make a deeper crease in the hip by shifting towards the right. The hand comes to the shin. Left hand down, right arm lifts up, holding. 3, 2, super strong. 1 more in triangle pose. Take the hand to the waist, shift all the weight to the right leg. And square the hip, or not square the hip, sorry, toe to the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dip the toe in the pool. Inhale, lift and hold. So the leg that's elevated, see if you can bring it hip height or perhaps 2 inches above where the hip sits. Not a lot, but a little bit. And then take your gaze and move it from the floor maybe to the side or maybe to the sky. It's going to really challenge your balance. Standing leg, firm and strong. We're going to come out the same way we came in, that is to bend the knee, shift back, straighten the front leg, triangle pose, and then come back up into warrior 2, bending the knee all the way up, straighten the leg, bring the hands to the waist, turn all 10 toes forward. Inhale, sweep the arms out. Exhale, take a forward fold. Wide angle forward fold here, hands to the middle of the mat, drop the head all the way down to the floor. And possibly bring the head to a block or all the way into the mat. Hands wrap around the ankle. Big breath in and big breath out. And inhale, lift, bring the hands back out to center. You're going to walk the hands around to the left side, step all the way back and take a lower down to the ground, Chaturanga. And just pause here. Rest your forehead on the floor, rest your hips down. We're in a full Danda Pranam. I'm just opening the chat and seeing if we have everyone here, making sure that I can hear everybody. Yeah, now I can hear everybody. Just in case something goes wrong with my speaker, I want to make sure I can hear you. So hands on the floor, we'll come into a low cobra. We finish out this exercise sequence. Elbows hugging in, shoulders above the earth. Squeeze and then lift the heart forward. The hands pull back. We're going to keep the tops of the feet down and then just lift the hands. Bring them into jet airplane. Make sure the shoulders aren't up by your ear and you're not squinching the cervical spine, but the cervical spine is long. Palms rotate towards you or the earth. So the shoulders lift away from the earth and we're holding. 2 more breaths. And last one. And exhale, release. Turn the head. And we'll take that again. Inhale, lift head, neck, and shoulders. Exhale, this time the feet elevate. They don't have to come very high, but they're lifted above the earth. Bring your ankles together and then widen just maybe 2 inches. It's going to require a lot of your inner thighs to hold that steady, right? Sit bones towards your heels. Lift a little higher. A lot of back strengthening here. 1 more breath. Exhale, hold. Lift a little higher, inhale. And on an exhale, release. Turn the head. Again, the opposite direction. Shake the hips side to side. So if these back bends hurt your low back, keep the head a little bit lower, keep the feet little bit lower, or just do one, the head or the feet. The other thing to keep in mind is to lift the low belly away from the earth and not to compress the low back, but decompress. And to do that, we take the sit bones towards the heels. You can see that lengthen out my back versus just relaxing. Here, there's a lot of energy in the inner thighs, a lot of energy in the sit bones pressing back. So we're going to take this a 3rd time, and you can hold here in Shalabhasana, lifting, head, neck, and shoulders, legs lift, or if you like, bend the knees and clasp the ankles to take it into full bow, Dhanurasana. Inhale, exhale, hold. 5 breaths, that's already 3. 2 more. 1 more. Lift a little higher. And then exhale, release. Draw the heels towards the glute. Lengthen the quadricep. And then release the legs all the way down. Shake the hips, hands to the chest. And push up. Press all the way back into Anahatasana or heart melt. So the arms are actually lengthened out in front of you. Forehead to a block or the floor. The hips are over the knees, and there's just a gentle flow of the breath in and out. You feel it in the side body. You feel a decompression in the low back. And then if you'd like, you can walk the hands back and press the hips to the heels. And that gives your low back a little more stretch, a little more release. hands, walk back. You're coming onto your heels. I'll face you in Vadrasana. So hips to the heels. If that's uncomfortable, place a block between the ankles and sit on the block. Any height. Okay. Thunderbolt Bhadrasana. The heels are underneath the sit bones. We're just going to take a couple breaths here, lengthening through the spine and releasing any tension built up in the low back. And let's take the hands in Hridaya Mudra. We learned this last week. So the pointer finger comes into the base of the thumb, and then the thumb, middle finger, and ring finger touch together gently. The pinky finger is lifted. So Hridaya, Hrid is the heart. So you can bring the hands onto the lap, palms open or lifted. Revisit your intention. Liberation. What action can you take today that would propel you forward, to get rid of what's no longer serving you, to liberate yourself from that stifling energy and compression and the weight of all those papers, all that stuff, all those words, all those thoughts that are meaningless and not helpful. And we can clear our minds. Maybe you need to meditate. Maybe there's a stillness, or just finding nature. Whatever that action item is, maybe it's just finishing that email, or a commitment to have a conversation. Give yourself permission to take right action, to stand boldly in your power. Breathe in, breathe out, release the mudra. Rotate through the wrists. And then take the fingertips to the floor and extend the legs out in front in Tadasana. Well, I'm going to turn to the side. Kitty says hello. And we're going to bend the knees and draw the heels toward you slightly. Kickstand with the hands, then rotate through the ankle. So we give some circles, some motion in one direction, and then reverse the action, opposite direction. Ankle, hip, a little joint mobility, a little love here. Then bend the knees a little bit more, draw the heels in. Tiptoe your fingertips to the base of the hip, and then press the belly to the top of the thigh, the ribs, the chest, and then reach forward and touch your toes. Everybody can touch their toes, right? Yay! Step on the gas pedal, the right, and step on the left, and then go right again, and left. I'm trying to think, that's the clutch, yes. So if you haven't driven a clutch for a long time, some of you youngsters might not even know what that is. And then shift the hips back a little bit, so you have less of a TP here. We keep the chest on the thighs. Both feet coming forward, stepping on the gas and the clutch at the same time, which, as you know, is a no-no, really, if you're learning to drive a standard. And if you still have space, or room. You're not feeling that full extension. Take the hips back even more. Keeping the chest on the ground, straighten the legs and bring the head all the way in. Deep breath in, deep breath out. 10 breaths in a forward fold now. That's already 4. And take the struggle out of the posture. So if you're struggling to stay here, bend your knees. Put a pillow underneath the knees. Keep the chest on the thigh. Reduce and release the hamstrings so you get that full stretch in the low back. A little release here. If you have slip disc or disc issues, keep it upright so you do not go beyond a diagonal, and please do not bend the low back, because that's counterproductive. So if you're pinched or pain in any way, make sure you're taking care of yourself, because you are your own guru. Only you know how it feels. One more breath. And then you're going to slowly walk the hands back up the shin. Shift and lower all the way onto your back. Bring the knees in, release the air, and then circle the knees. I'm going to go both directions. Drop the knees over to your left. Nice easy spinal twist. The arms come in goalposts. So it's a gentle releasing of the low back, the hip. One hand on the knee can help create a little more twist, but not necessary. You want to liberate yourself from striving to get any particular outcome. How about we just strive to do our best in the moment? So we connect with the breath. Inhale and exhale, we slow it down. We feel all the way through the body. Where is the deeper stretch? That might be the area that's the tightest. Acknowledge it. Celebrate that you can feel. And then bring the knees back to center. The head straight, hug the knees into the chest. And let's just straighten out the spine before we go to that second side a little bit. Bring your feet to the floor, fingertips underneath the heel. So the palms open, shoulder blades connect onto the back, and we're just gonna come into a bridge. So you're pushing down through the heel and driving the shin forward, opening the hip flexor, at the same time lifting the chest towards the chin and getting more extension through the collarbones, or opening through the collarbones. And then let's take the arms overhead, hold them here, the back of the hand touching, and then lower the hips a little closer to your heel. And when the hips touch down, you can release the hips, low belly, and then lower the arms down to the earth as well. Press into the floor with the hands, lift the hips, push down through the feet, back of the head. Keep a nice space between the floor and the cervical spine, and then raise the arms up. Overhead, hold. Exhale, lower the hips down. And let the arms follow, not in tandem. I know this is hard. It's like a wave. Hips lift, inner thighs engage. Keep the knees right over the ankles, not outside of the ankles. Lower back down with the hips and the arms follow. One more time. Slow motion. Inhale, lift the hips. Pin the shoulders wide to the mat. Open the arms overhead. Exhale. It's kind of like you're on the tricky bars and you're lengthening that side body. Your arms are still holding on the tricky bars. And you're going to let go and release the arms back down to the side. Oh, that feels really good. Place the hands at the crease of the hip and press into the thigh. Take a big breath in, and there might be more space between you and the mat in your low back. As you exhale, take that space out. So you're going to reduce the space by bringing the low back into the mat. This becomes a pelvic tilt on the inhale, and then a pelvic tilt, posterior tilt on the exhale. Anterior or front hip tilt, and then exhale or posterior tilt. And then release, bring the knees again to the chest or keep the feet on the ground. We're going to lower now to the right. We'll take that same full reduction or release in the low back. On the other side. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Happiness is an awareness that an inside job we can connect to. So maybe even for no reason, put a little smile on your face. And let that smile permeate the heart like you have a little secret, a joyful secret that nobody else knows. And you're just giggling inside. One more breath. And you'll bring the knees back to center. And take a happy baby or any posture of your choice for a breath or two. Reset the spine. And then come into final pose, relaxation pose, peaceful pose, also referred to as Shavasana. Your feet extend to the floor, and the arms are open. Create a quietness through the body, a stillness in the mind as you integrate all the work you've done in our final relaxation pose. We'll stay here for a couple minutes. With each exhale, soften the muscles, soften any tension buildup. Just surrender to the earth. Allow yourself to be held, cradled. Let yourself fully relax, fully integrate. And then lengthen your in-breath. You'll gently bring the knees into the chest. When you're ready, roll to one side. So you're acknowledging yourself in some way and in gratitude how you showed up, and reminding yourself your intention today for liberation. Now, when you use your top arm to gently come to a seated position on the mat, bringing the hands to your heart center. Let the breath flow in easily, and exhale with a sigh. One more breath flows in easily, and join me on an Om. Thank you for your soul's journey today, practicing with me that joy is truly in the journey. Namaste. Thank you, Facebook friends. Please leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. And YouTube friends, thank you.